It looks like I may be live. Hopefully, with any luck. Thought I could sharpen my pencil real deadly sharp. All right. Sorry, I'm still setting up. If you're watching this after it's... Oh, Jesus. If you're watching this after it's live, yeah, you may want to zoom ahead. This might take a second. I don't know even what's going on now. Okay, I accidentally hit the mouse. I want to see how this is going here. This guy here. Switch users. Okay. And of course my battery is about ready to go dead, so gotta plug this in. I would love to just turn this on and go, but the last few times I've done that, it's not turned out so well. Right, skip the ad for opioid addiction. Psh. It's not turned out so well. Okay, great. There's no echo. Last week I did a couple feeds. Couldn't even use them. Oh, get rid of my hat. Couldn't use the feeds because they had a terrible echo, and I'm still kind of new to this, and no one was watching, so no one could see what was going on to tell me, hey, there's a terrible echo. So I found a way to do that myself fairly reliably. And if you come in and if there's anything weird, please let me know so I can fix it. Okay, so just a second. I'm going to go to Facebook and invite people to join my feed here at YouTube if YouTube will share my post. And maybe that's something I can talk about here in just a little bit. So let me post. Get this stuff out of the way. I knew that was going to happen. Join me at. Okay, any day. Join me at my channel for a live feed happening right now. Okay, let's post that. And I usually write my channel, but I'm starting to think that that's a keyword too. That whenever you post anything to Facebook, a status update, it goes through a whole list of hundreds of thousands of things that Facebook is looking for so that it can decide whether or not it wants to share this with whatever percentage of your friends or followers it decides it wants to share it with. Sorry. And I've had varying results testing this, and I found out that, of course, the more it sends it out to just a small percentage of people, and depending on their reaction, it may send it out to a few other people, and it just kind of parses it out a little bit at a time, gauges the reaction, and knows whether to share it further. And then some things it just completely shuts down. It will not share it at all. And I've actually had Facebook switch my share settings from everyone to private without me knowing it. That's just like the default. It's like we're privating this one. You obviously didn't want to share it with anybody, that your announcement that you're going to be doing whatever important thing on another platform that Facebook doesn't want you to click away from theirs to go to. So I have to be careful about how I word things, and I hope that people can kind of like translate and maybe join in. Hey Donnie, I'm glad you found me here. Oh yeah, for sure. It is. There's lots of weird things. I mean, can we go on? Yeah, thanks for joining me. Just whining and complaining about how Facebook isn't my friend. They want me to pay money to share this, to share stuff with the people who've taken the time to go to my page, click follow, and cross their fingers that Facebook will be gracious enough to actually share the stuff with them that they're wanting to follow. So I don't quite know what to do about that other than just whine and bitch. So I'm trying not to swear. I'm trying to be more refined and not swear very much. But it's hard not to. I mean, wow. Thanks, Donnie. I appreciate that. I try to be. I mean, I'm paying a lot of money to know how to be professional. I should at the very least try to be, right? So I think I recall last time when I was making this, I was going to put in a telephone pole here, despite the fact that I hate telephone poles because they get in the way of beautiful pictures. But I'm going to put one here and hope that I can just like resist. I've had quite a lot of coffee. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've had a lot of coffee, and I'm shaking. I always get nervous before my live feeds. I don't know what it is. I have terrible stage fright or performance anxiety for some reason, and I don't know why. I shouldn't. I should have more confidence. I mean, I feel like I do have confidence when I talk, but it's not natural. I just want you all to know this. It's really forced to kind of seem like I'm not forced. Do you still? Yeah, I have a very colorful use of the vulgar language. And that's okay. We're going to make these some old style telephone poles. Stuff is just going to be pinned on there with some glass, whatever those doodads are. Take these wires out further. Maybe it's telegraph. Sorry, concentrating. I'm using the language part of my brain to line up these wires. I can't, and I'm actually about ready to get some more, honestly, and I don't need any because I can barely keep my pencil straight as it is. I just love coffee. The older I get, the more I love it. Shit, the more I need it. Let me scroll down the page a little. Yeah, it's been quite a few days since I've done a live feed. I'll probably be doing several of these. I know I'll be doing one on Facebook later. I like to do a feed on YouTube early because I have a lot of fans from Europe and they go to bed. So I want to catch them, like maybe they can tune in for a minute or two before they go to bed. Say hi. It is hard. Thanks, Jazz. Appreciate that. Yeah, I have the worst. I tell you what, I've never had such terrible internet service. This is America. How does it happen? Too many people using it. Yeah, you know, it is. This is the first time in my life I've lived so far away from railroad tracks. When I was a little boy, I was right next to them, about a block away from railroad tracks, so I'd always hear the train. And then growing up as a youngster, even a teenager, trains, adulthood, train tracks. I had to move 2,100 miles away to get away from them. When I watch other artists draw and they try to talk, yeah, there's something about the parts of the brain, how much of it uses. I was watching a video the other day. When we think about something, when we really draw on our brain power, our eyes dilate like we're on some kind of drug. Like we turn into hypnotoad for a second while we're trying to think about something really hard. A lot of us don't like to because it hurts. It can hurt me sometimes, but I love to think. Then I take a nap. Okay, so there's probably another telephone pole, and let's put it in permanently in ink, so if I make a mistake I won't be able to take it out. So imagine it's right about there, and if I take this over, it's going to give me some idea of the scale. So I think it's going to be pretty skinny, and thank goodness most of it's going to be hidden by that tree. Look at that. That's a telephone pole. Thanks. Thanks, Donnie. I try to be. I have a lot of fun just like inside my own head. I'm just by myself. I can enjoy time. You don't find a lot of people that are really comfortable with. I think they surround themselves with a lot of people because they don't like being around themselves alone. Maybe they don't trust themselves, I don't know. But I don't mind it. But I do like to spend time with you guys on live, so I love that part of it. It's a lot of fun. Can riff with you guys. What's in the news? Nothing. I'm going to keep that up. That's going to be my ongoing thing for a while. Can't do nothing about it. Don't fret it. Well, you could do something about it, but we don't want to think about that now. What we want to think about is putting a shadow in here. Raising that curb up a little bit. These are high curbs. Granny needs help down into the car. I had a friend of mine, and it was snowy out, and she was getting in. Let me draw a little picture since I'm an artist. Okay, so the car's here. You're going to be ashamed of how this car looks, okay? And then there's the curb, and someone's getting in the car, right? And then there's a space, like right here. Well, she hit the ice and went completely underneath the car. And the other person in the vehicle looked over, and the person who they presumed should be sitting in the car was just vanished. Completely gone. 1 second they were there, he turned his head away, looked back. The person has disappeared. Nowhere to be seen. Well, they've slid underneath the car. They told that story a lot funnier than I did. All right, and I need to find where I'm at. Okay, I'm looking at I've got this YouTube window open. It's delayed. I'm always going back in time when I look up to see what's happening. So this isn't delayed image now. I need to look at this really hard and see if maybe it's done. Y'all think it's done? No, it's not done till you put a bird on top, but that looks like a dead chipmunk. You gotta put a bird on the top, right? Hanging out. Birds hang out on the top of those around here all the time. Especially the ravens. They're up there squawking at you. So I think this one's done. Anything jump out, you think? Thanks, Jez. It's the shadows, I'm telling you. When I look at sketches that have really cool shadowing in it, it just blows my mind. It doesn't even have to be sketched that well. It's just the shadows do it. So let's see. I'm going to sign this. and date it. Put my mark. And that's that. Not too bad. I like it. You guys remember this one I did? I posted that on Reddit, and it got like 10, 15 upvotes. I hate Reddit art. I mean, I love that. I love the website. I love all the art there. But then when I post stuff, I think it's really good. And it is, I think. It just gets like the middle finger, I feel like. I shouldn't let it hurt my feelings. Okay. I'm not sure what that was. That's the original sketch that I did. And then I made some corrections, and then I drew that I just showed you. But this was inspired by Paint Lane on YouTube, and I would encourage you to go check him out. It's really awesome. Not right now, though. I mean, hopefully you're going to stay here and watch me once I get my act together. I'm looking for a clean sheet. Hold on just a second. I got to get a clean sheet of paper. I'll be right back. It was all the way across my tiny apartment. It's like three large steps away. It's that small. I actually want to live smaller. I have an opportunity to double my space, but I don't think I'm going to. I don't want to live bigger. That's not my goal. It's to live smaller. I want to live tiny. Okay. I'm not sure what I wanted to do today besides just rap with you guys. You know, it's Monday. This is my first day off since a long 4-day stretch. We had big snowflakes. If you check out on my channel, right before the snow moved in, the rain and the snow, I managed to catch some cloud pictures. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to do this. I am going to do this, actually. This sounds like a lot more fun. Cancel that. Rolling Hills got scratched. This is my ADHD kicking in. I have to dial it back. Do I want to do that in... All right. I'm trying to remember how these are made. Oh, nope. Switch again. I knew the second I laid that pencil down on the paper, I was going to be like, nope, that's the wrong one. There's these things that I make that I really like, and it uses a formula. And anybody can do this. They're cool to do with kids. They're fun to color. But you basically make half circles, sort of, bigger, across the page. 4 of them. They don't have to meet each side. It can be kind of whimsical, just as long as there's a number of them and that number stays consistent. So I have 4, right? Okay, then each side, inside each circle, you're going to continue that. So that'd be 1 circle, 2 circles, 3 circles, 4 circles. That doesn't look like much, but you're going to continue this algorithm. This is actually what it is. It's a computer algorithm, and your brain is the computer. Keep performing this operation. It's very relaxing while you do it too. You can talk about stuff. I wish that one was more angled because it's going to look wonky, I think, but it'll do. Okay, and then just repeat 4 more circles. You guys can join in, grab a piece of paper. kind of making it look easy, but you know, it is the way that your brain will start to pick out the lines and stuff. It can be kind of tricky. And then you'd continue that again. This is kind of like a fractal. And you can see how that just goes down and down and down. Last spring, this time of year, it was so beautiful. At the end of February, the weather started to turn really nice and mild, and the foothills across the way, it was like Ireland. It was so green, just breathtaking. I wanted to give it a hug. And then this year, not so much. Snow, rain, just, oh my God. I thought I moved to Southern Oregon, not Seattle. They did have a terrible drought for a year, so I'm not complaining really, but I don't want 7 years of rain to start falling in 1 year while I'm here. But what can you do? My dad's coming out to visit this summer. He's getting up there in age. Anything can happen, so I always kind of hold my breath, but I look forward to him hopefully making it here and us getting to spend some time together. And it looks like probably spending that in, you guessed it, the rain. Yeah, that would be terrible. He drives thousands of miles, and then the whole time he's here, it's just miserable. Rain, can't do anything, and everything here is outside. You got Crater Lake, Mount Shasta, Mount Ashland, the Rogue River, Klamath River. You got the coast, ocean. I mean, it's everything. I'm going to put extra one here, just throw everyone off, since it's not very well defined. Yeah, and it's stuff that you want to do outside, and you definitely don't want it to be raining on you all the damn time. And I work outside, so I pay more attention to the weather now than I ever have in my life. I've always worked inside. Forgot what I was doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. I should probably use a smaller pen for the inside of those, but it's too late now. Just like that. I did a painting with this pattern on it. It turned out so awesome. I have another algorithm that I have for drawing a certain pattern that I really like, and I did a painting of it and sold it. It's really nice. I'm going to break my own rule, I think. I want these to have more in it. For some reason, it just feels like it needs more than 4. Does it kind of look like bone or something? Or like a cheese? Swiss cheese or some shit? Try not to say shit all the time. I know, it's like shorts, parka. Shorts, parka. I can't take it. Especially when I work outside, and then I have a pain condition, and weather extremes make it a lot worse. Like today, I had a hard time sleeping because I was in a lot of pain and it was uncomfortable, and then got up early, and I still feel like I jumped out of a moving vehicle. Sometimes I have dreams I jumped out of a moving vehicle. I think it's my brain saying, you feel like this. But it'll go away. It's weird. When you feel worked over, you think that soreness is going to last for days and days. But the way that my pain condition goes, it will go away after a day or so if I'm not exposed to that. It's really residual. It goes away. There was tornadoes and stuff there, weren't there, in Illinois? I'm so glad I don't have to deal with tornadoes so much here. They're really hard to form. You have to worry about forest fires, though. Earthquakes, rock slides, mudslides, landslides. Sasquatch. So there's a lot of hazards. Sasquatch is my favorite thing. He was allegedly photographed and then later discovered it was a fraud. But here nearby us, actually. Well, I mean, they aren't selling Sasquatch keychains everywhere around here, but people definitely do know what it is. Yeah, and when they do happen, I don't know whether to get outside and watch them or hide. They fascinate me. So I want to watch them, but at the same time, it's like, what am I, an idiot? Better get down. I've been in a few tornadoes. One as a small child that I don't remember, and then one as a teenager, and then one as an adult. And they're not fun. They are so terrifying. Just really, really discover how indifferent nature can be and how powerful it is. And those two things together aren't good. Kind of like the news. Yeah. Oh, hey, Amy. I didn't even see you jump in there. I know that's weird. It's like everything has kind of shifted around. It's so strange. I say it's strange, but we all know what it is. It's the elephant in the room. No one wants to bring it up because what are you going to do? Fight Exxon? You're going to take on BP? I don't think you are. What are you going to do, drive a Prius? I know some people that drive Priuses, and it seems to me that they use as much gas as a Yukon. They're just going more places, and they're just more active. They'd probably be bankrupt if they owned a Yukon, which is why they own a Prius, so I think it's interesting. Get a lot of Priuses out here, and their owners are quite nice, and nothing like the stereotype that people say about Prius owners. They aren't all militant vegans. Yeah, Amy, for sure. I don't know. When I was a kid, we had this thing. It was called Weekly Reader. I remember in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade. We would read the Weekly Reader. This was, of course, is in the late 70s, early 80s. And it would say, if we don't stop doing this by this date, this is going to happen. That thing was like a crystal ball. It is like spot on. Everything I remember reading about as a kid that was going to happen if we didn't stop doing it has happened. So I'm not at all surprised. But all these problems can be solved. It's just the longer we wait, the more it costs. And sometimes the things it costs are priceless. But enough of that. I'm sorry, buzzkill. I'm trying to be in a good mood. I'm off today. Well, off from my other job. And then I have this work to do. I have a video introduction that I have to make for Art Addicted Alliance, which is a group on Facebook that is just forming. And I think the 8th is when we are going to introduce ourselves to the world and let you guys know we're out there. It's 15. In total, it'll be 15 artists, 1 featured artist. Diverse backgrounds, people from all over the world. It's A space A space A on Facebook, I think. Mostly European members, so I don't think they're really familiar with the Automotive Association of America. So a little bit of a unfortunate coincidence there, and maybe brand dilution for us. we'll try to muddle through. There's a lot of people in Europe, a lot of people in India. Is it the 10th? Is it the 10th? I'm going to go back and check and make sure, because when I do my video, I want to make sure I have everything on point. I'm not trying to do this 3 or 4 times. So I'll probably be doing that later on. I've already written the text for it. I'm starting it out with 10 signs you know you're addicted to art. So that should be enjoyable for people to find out why they're hopelessly addicted to art, like they don't already know. But it's a fun thing to play with. And plus, people like lists of things. We're all about the lists. You have a magazine, it doesn't matter what crap magazine it is. If the cover has a list of things on it, we're going to buy it. You know you are. We love lists. We love to quantify just about everything that can be quantified and stacked in some kind of value system. I actually hate doing that, because people will be like, what's your top 10 favorite movies? It's like, it depends. I mean, like my top 10 favorite movies right now would be a different list than it would be 6 months from now, even given I would have never been exposed to any more movies between that time. I mean, it just depends on how I feel that day. It's like sometimes I don't, yeah, it was an alright movie. And then another time, like Me, Myself, and Irene, if you guys don't know this movie, but it's absurd. The first time I watched it, I just didn't even know what to think. I was pretty much gape-mouthed the entire time. And then the second time I watched it, I loved it. I got it. I don't know what. Once I got over the shock, I loved it. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Is that interesting or not? Can I take this up here a little bit? You can see what's going on. Maybe I should watercolor it. Ruin it. This is about, when I doodle, I mean, there's Peter Draws is probably like the best doodler I've ever seen, and really funny video maker. But his doodles are just so kind of organic, and I love them. They got this weird kind of Monty Python quality to them that I really appreciate. And I've tried to do them, and I just told myself, don't do that. You're just hurting yourself. And then I had to think about, do I doodle, and what do I doodle? And these are my doodles right here. They're just, it's like a formula I follow. It's kind of weird that way. I'm trying to think if anything funny or interesting happened at work that I can talk about. And no. Actually, just a lot of things I don't want to talk about happened. Things I can't talk about. I mean, they're not like tawdry or anything like that. It's just that, you sign an agreement not to badmouth your employer on social media and just rip them to shreds. So I just can't talk about it. That's all I can say, is that I want to rip my employer to shreds on social media. That's the acceptable level of sentiment that I'm able to express without suffering some kind of consequence. I don't know. Some people just aren't meant to work for others. And I think I'm pretty sure I'm one of those people. I'm just not, it's not in my fiber to have to follow other people, because I'm a questioner. I just don't take things at face value. I question every single thing, and I usually come up with answers, and I don't like the answers, and it just makes me contemptuous and resentful. And yeah, so I need to be an artist that works for myself, and I'm able to do that half the time, so I'm halfway there. I'm halfway there. I'm sorry I did that to you guys. It might have been in your head. This is probably the most boring thing in the world to watch. It's probably why everyone's leaving in droves. I should have drawn a sketch. I didn't have any idea for a sketch in mind, and I don't like to just go. I mean, I'll freestyle it like really hard like that, but I don't know. I just feel like if I do another one, I'm probably going to be working on it a while, and I really want it to be a subject that I can stomach for 4 or 5 hours and be able to elevate that way. I think once I get all these penciled in or penned in or whatever, I'm going to go through and maybe this is white, a slightly lighter tone or slightly grayed tone, even more so, until like it's dark on the inside. And then it's going to be a volume, and there's like these holes you could fly through. And we'll see how that goes. I think this is going to look pretty neat as like a textural piece. I'm not even sure what you would call it. If anyone knows what style of art this is, please let me know, because it is escaping me right now. I know it has a name. I hope my feeds are working. Sometimes I'm here, I'm like, da da da. I'm saying like the most cathartic, like what's the meaning of life, and it's the real answer to y'all, and then the feed just goes out. And then when it comes back, I have forgotten I'm like, what was I talking about? Guess it wasn't that important. You know, it turns out it was the most important thing ever. It's just how the universe works for me. Oh, yesterday. Here's something I can talk about work. I'm a fueler. I put gas in people's cars, and I do it because it's easy. It doesn't pay a lot. I get to work outside. I get to look at the beautiful mountains. I get to interact with people. Sometimes that's a good thing. Yesterday it wasn't. And I grade people when they come into the station. They're getting a letter grade. And it usually involves 10 steps that you have to do correctly in order to get fuel. So it's not too bad. I mean, it should ensure that idiots at some point just run out of gas. So I would make filling your vehicle as hard as possible, at least as hard as driving, just to weed that out. But so the first thing is you got to pull up with your tank door on the right side so that you can reach it. So that's the first thing. Then you got to pop your door open, the fuel door open for the attendant, or unlock it or whatever. And then you got to have your method of payment decided. Sometimes that's a hard choice for people. They want to ask a lot of questions. And then you got to know what grade of fuel you need, how much. I mean, it can be quite involved, you know, but it's certainly no more involved than getting to the station safely, I think. But yesterday these folks came in wrong side. Oh, and there's also a part 2 of wrong side. When you go to change sides, like drive so that your tank's on the right side, you do the same thing. You turn around, and when you stop, it's on the wrong side again. I had a woman do this so badly, I actually had to go out and just like Captain Tarmac with the flashlights with the little orange cones on them and just guide her into a spot. She was literally losing her mind. Have you ever seen The Color Purple? You know, where the white lady gets in the car and then all the brothers are jumping on the car because she's about ready to run through the house and kill everyone? This was this woman. It's like, you need to just, where's your license? I want to see your license. And I want to know who signed off on this, because I'm going to punch them in the face. But yeah, the people that came in failed part 1 and part 2 of the first question. And then Door wasn't open. Payment method wasn't decided. Amount of gas, that was. Fill it up. Oh, what else? I know there was something else that went wrong. There. I can't remember what it was. I probably had to chase them down for their receipt or something like that, which I have, yes, I want my receipt, and then you can't find them. They're gone. You go to put it in the car. Yesterday it was snowy and rainy. Normally I would just stick it on the doorknob, but I could have just stuck it to anywhere on the car yesterday, and it would have just been there like a sticker. So by the time they left, I think they had a D- for fueling. I would have loved to have just sat back and watched them do it. Probably would have blown up the whole block. They were nice enough folks, but they're here for the Shakespeare Festival that we have in Southern Oregon. It's quite a big deal. It draws people who aren't familiar with the nuances of putting gas in their vehicles. So it's exciting. We get a lot of newcomers. A lot of people mention how beautiful the town is, and it's like, I know it's beautiful. I moved here. I'm here on purpose. And some of these people are here just because that's where they were born, or they kind of take it for granted a little bit. I sure the hell don't. I know what a blessing it is to live here. And I tell people every day, it's like I work at a gas station to live here. That's how much I love it. So yeah, that was yesterday. There's a lady in Aldi's parking lot, and she said she had no idea how to get in her car. She had no idea how to get the car to do what she wanted. She kept parking crooked, and she got out and said, they always make these lines. What? That hurt. Oh my God, that hurt. Wow, Jazz. I know. You guys may have heard, I don't know, it got some big play because it was just the height of stupidity. This woman called in on a radio show to ask a question. That was the forum, Ask a Question here. And as she asked the question, why do they put the deer crossing signs? Why do they put the deer crossings where people are driving? She's like, why can't we put the deer crossings out in the country where no one's driving at? It just seems really weird to me that you're going to put a deer crossing up. Don't put it by an interstate and the people are like, whoa. Wait a minute. You do know that deer have somewhat of a free will, right? They don't necessarily follow signs. I mean, maybe they do. That just hurt. That really hurt. When I heard that, I almost pulled off the side of the road. I had to take a deep breath. I felt like I was diminished a little bit as a human being. I'm just like, we put a man on the moon. I guess they're outliers. There are always going to be outliers. There are going to be people here that just don't understand the world is a very magical place. And there are people over here who are miserable. So, that's the world we live in, boys and girls. Yeah. Good Lord is right. Wouldn't even know what to say to that. I think it hurt them too. I would like to revisit the broadcast. I think it was, oh my goodness, what was it on? I'd hate to say it was like one of those Dave and Buster's or one of those. It could have been, no, it was one of those funny shows that people call in. I can't believe it was real. I mean, when you listen to it, it sounded real. She sounded really stupid. But sometimes really smart people can do that. They can play stupid pretty well. So I'm already bored with this, and I think I've already messed it up. I'm going to, I don't know, maybe contour these edges. I'll try that. That might be fun. Think of how the sun, I guess it could be the sun, I don't know, whatever light source it is. It's hitting these edges. Yeah, I deal with all kinds of people that just, I don't know. They're not. They dress themselves, right? They got it. They have a job. They maintain a bank account. And then at the same time, the things that they don't understand, I'm like, you can learn. You can learn. Like I said earlier when I first started this out, they try to learn, their eyes just like dilate like flaps over the top of their head, just like, so it hurts too much. So they don't. I get that, not everybody's the same. Some people it hurts to think. Like the person with the crooked parking spots. And other people enjoy it. I enjoy it to a point, and then my brain shuts off. It's like, we're done here. And then I have to take a nap. I'm one of those. I suppose I could probably do this with a little bit more finesse and not have to go in and erase what's there. Precious eraser. I don't even like this pencil for what I'm doing. I haven't been able to find my good set. I know it's around here. It's in this drawer of forbidden things. I have a drawer. It's a junk drawer from hell. It's a big drawer, and it's got, oh my God, I need to go through it. It's beyond ridiculous. It's been a year since I've gone through it, but it's I need to compartmentalize things in such a way that when I have to go through it, it's not going to take a week. Just a little bit smaller. But then I'd have like a million things to go through, and that'd take a week. So I guess it doesn't matter. That's why I want to live smaller. I got stuff that I don't need. I'm just paying to keep it, and I don't feel like that's right. I feel like that's the opposite of right. What is that? Oh, did you guys have a nice weekend? We can talk about that. You guys had good weekends, didn't you? Do you guys do things on the weekends? I work. So I don't really want to talk about mine, but we can talk about your guys' weekends. One of my friends, or my coworker, last weekend broke his knee, basically. Just basically broke his knee. And when I seen, I was like, how'd you do that? Skiing? Snowboarding? Being on a mountain? Falling off of it? He's like, yeah, snowboarding. I was like, was you trying to avoid rocks and trees? He's like, yeah. Interesting. I would have to hear it secondhand, because I'm not going to be up there. I don't even like driving the roads to get up there. There's rock slides, and you slide off the mountain because of the snow, and Oh, your workspace? I think all of ours are. Are you off on the weekends? You get a break? Get a little bit of a break? Just enough to keep you from going in again with a gun. That's all it does. It's not really a break. No, I would never. I don't hate my job that much. If I ever hated a job that much, I would just quit. Right now, the balance of the line is so fine between what I like about this job and what I hate. I mean, I would literally have to write a list, pros and cons, and it would be like one or two things. And it's kind of hard to decide based on one or two things. When the alternative is accepting the unknown. So I'll stick with the one or two BS-y things that I know and put up with it and try not to have a insubordinate attitude when I'm at work. I don't with the customers. I love my customers. I'm nice to them. They love me. But there's things that just don't get by me. I kind of like how it's kind of hard to see, and I think it's maybe because of this light. Or I don't want to shut this light over here. Last week, you guys may recall that it decided to take a week off, and it literally did take a week off. I tried it today, it came back on. Finally. I have no idea what goes on in this light that makes it do what it does. It's magic to me, and I don't think I'm going to find out what's going on, because I want there to be a little bit of magic in the world. I think my malfunctioning light that could potentially burn my apartment down is magical. Oh, I wonder what happened. Did everyone get dropped from my feed? It looks like it. No. Okay, I don't know what just happened. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and nothing is cooperating. I'm trying to get into my own feed again. Does it say my health is okay? It does. Okay, it's working. I guess it's working. I don't know what happened there. Something just, everything got kicked. YouTube was like, that's okay. So I'm getting into about an hour here. What's that? Redick. It may go back too far in the conversation for me to know what's happening. I'm sorry, Amy. Now, I'm probably going to finish this on my Facebook live stream tonight at, when will it be? Pacific time, it'll be around 4 o'clock. So if you're able to tune in for that, I hope you'll join me. I'm probably going to color in these little dots here. I've already messed this up, so I'm going to have to erase that out because it should have smaller dots in it. But I'm going to try to turn this into something really cool. So I hope you'll join me for that on Facebook. Right now, I think that looks neat. Are you surprised at how it turned out a little bit? I mean, did you envision that that would be the way it is? This formula that I followed? Well, I hope you give it a try. I mean, it won't hurt my feelings if you add to it, maybe use a different shape or a different configuration, maybe more blobby and less circular. I don't know. Just have fun. I wish you would. And I'm going to have to take a lunch break and edit this down and then get ready for my Facebook live feed. And also I have a video introduction to do later on today. So I'm going to be a busy bee. And really the only free time I'll get will be the live feeds that I enjoy doing with you guys. So I hope you join me. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me live, those who did. I really appreciate the feedback and the conversation. It's delightful. And if you're watching this later and you enjoy it, please give me a like. That helps out a lot. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and click the bell, and I'll let you know when I upload. Sometimes it's 3 or 4 times a week. Sometimes it's just once or twice. It's not a huge uploader. And if you haven't checked out my old videos, go to my channel. There's some really fast ones, just a couple, 2-3 minutes to check out that are really fun. So give those a look. And until next time, you guys take care. And hopefully I'll see you later today. Bye-bye.